You're with us on the newsroom. We've been carrying a series of reports about the rising levels of air pollution in our big cities. Now, the Hill Foundation has come out with the Breathe Blue report, which puts out a very alarming statistic. 4 out of 10 children in the national capital have lungs which are defective. They cannot breathe properly. And just a couple of ago, Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar had come on record to say that all these sudden stories that are appearing around pollution, to him, seem like a conspiracy to malign India. Well, Minister, you're wrong. Here's why.
They are grasping for breath. Their tiny lungs weakened by the poison that they're breathing. Increasing air pollution has weakened the lungs of children across the country. But it's the capital's kids whose lungs are the weakest. The statistics are shocking. According to a study conducted by Hill Foundation and Breathe Blue, 4 out of 10 children in Delhi suffer from severe lung problems. Only 60% school children in the capital passed the lung health screening test, and a worrisome 21% were categorized as poor. Compare the numbers to Mumbai, where 73% kids passed the test and only 13% were categorized as poor. Even in Bengaluru, 64% children passed the lung health screening test, with only 14% being tested as poor. The statistics are even more alarming when you look at the lung of children based on the mode of transport. Here too, children in the capital have the notorious distinction of faring worse than kids in the other metros, with 92% of those who travel in open vehicles being categorized as poor.
सबसे पहले तो पोल्यूशन को देखना पड़ेगा। दिल्ली के अंदर पोल्यूशन बहुत ज़्यादा है और लोग पोल्यूशन के प्रति एक तरह से जिनको फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता। उनको लगता है कि गाड़ी जो नहीं चाहिए, पोल्यूशन से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। लोगों को थोड़ा जागरूक होना पड़ेगा। आज भी आप देखिएगा, एनजीटी ने लीव्स जलाने पे बैन किया है, कूड़ा जलाने पे बैन किया है। जगह जगह आज भी चल रहा होता है, तो उसको सब कुछ निपटा जाएगा। पोल्यूशन के ऊपर तो सरकार को थोड़ा सख्त होना पड़ेगा, हम सख्त होंगे।
The Delhi government has cracked the whip on air pollution, but unless it is checked on war-footing basis, the poison in the air will continue to choke our children. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
%40 of the kids surveyed in the capital do not have adequate lung function, which means they can't breathe properly. Joining us now is Manjari Chandra. She's a consultant on nutrition at Max Healthcare. Thank you much, Manjari, for joining us. And I want to recap those figures once again, showing the gravity of the problem that confronts us. Only 60% of the kids in Delhi had passing grades when it came to their lung function. 40% flunked the lung test. This is as far as Delhi is concerned. Let's look at Mumbai. There it's slightly better, but still about 27% kids don't have adequate lung function. And it goes on. All our cities very badly off, Majri, but Delhi most so. Now tell us, when lung function is at the levels at which your study says it is, how much of an impact does it have on our children?
It has a very, very big impact, specifically in the case of children, because children, the lung function is responsible for the amount of oxygen that is reaching not only their lungs, but organs. And because they're in a critical stage of development, including the vital organs, such low lung functions and less oxygen in the body can be very detrimental to normal, healthy growth of children.
Okay, so now there'll be parents who'll be watching this who are, of course, very concerned by the figures that your study is throwing up and we're putting on our screen. Is there anything that can be done to try and improve the lung function of children? Because these are young children, they're growing up, they have to live their whole lives. If they live their lives with inadequate lung function, that's not good at all. Can something be done?
Yeah. So in an idealistic state, that is why we've launched this campaign. We're trying to get all the stakeholders together to see how much we can do to reduce this air pollution and improve the air quality of especially our
so there's no exercise, there's no medicine.
No, but there are many things be done, but they really don't have so much of a corrective effect on the child's health. If the air is bad, even if you do pranayam, you take some medications, you expose the children to better air once in a while, it is really not going to counteract the effect of the everyday pollution that they are.
And in the midst of all of this, we're hearing from the minister who says that this is some kind of a conspiracy by NGOs. I mean, not just yours, but all NGOs lighting this. He's saying, why is this issue being raised now? Why wasn't it raised 10 years ago?
No, I mean should have been raised long back, and I'm sure people were talking about it. But if you talk to pulmonologists, if you talk to doctors who handle children with breathing problems, they'll tell you such a rapid increase in the numbers. Dependence on nebulization and asthmatic drugs has increased so much in our country, especially in the large metros. Children are not breathing properly. How would they play or nurture or grow or study or become healthy individuals?
There were some doctors who suggested that the situation is so bad that you have to leave Delhi and get out. Do you think things are quite as alarming? If people have the option, should they really explore the possibility of leaving Delhi?
So yeah, there are people who've come back to Delhi as back to India from other countries, and they're looking at going back again only because the air quality is so bad that they find their children not able to breathe well, and they were playing in open spaces there. So that would be a very harsh statement to say that leave Delhi and go. But yeah, the conditions are really very bad. They're quite sad. And it can be equated to just going off this, because this place really has bad air which you're breathing day in and day out.
Now you've scared me. I'm very concerned about the air that we're breathing. And Minister Javadekar, if you're watching, I think the key is that not to think of this as a conspiracy, but to try and deal with the problems that all of us face. All of us are
One thing
victims.
that I'd like to say
Yes.
here is Delhi is not polluted because of industrialization. It's not industries. It's just vehicular pollution.
And which can be dealt with.
Yeah, and that's something that we can easily
Especially
deal
the
with.
vehicles that come in at night that create a lot of the pollution
Exactly.
that are putting out all this exhaust.
Yeah,
we need to be able to deal with that.
Yes.
I think that's the message that Manjari is putting out. That's the message coming out of the study, and I hope that the powers that be, Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia, and Prakash Javadekar and the Prime Minister are listening. Don't think of this as a conspiracy. It affects all of us, including the health of kids in the Environment Minister's own family.
Yeah, and it's very sad that they're not the contributors at all, but they're the ones who are suffering the most.
And
at
we
this,
need to deal with this. Thank you very much, Manjari. I'm glad we've been able to put this on the newsroom. Thank you very much.